declaring the winner by submission due to an armbar, Gunnar Nelson!
UFC 286, Gunnar Nelson beats Bryan Barberena by armbar from the mount. Now the position starts off in the mount. Gunnar feeds an elbow to Barberena with his right hand, and that causes Barberena to raise his left elbow to block the elbows. Gunnar uses that to get his right forearm under Barberena's forearm, and he switches to the arm bar. So he turns his hips and he throws one foot over Barberena's head, and he sits next to him right under his shoulder, and at the same time he pulls on the arm, pinky finger down to his chest, and he raises his hips. We don't show the hip raising in this particular demonstration because it just puts a lot of pressure on the elbow. Barberena doesn't show great defense of the armbar. It could be because he was already hit. He could have been a little bit foggy, but there are a few options to defending the armbar. So if the opponent starts in the mount and throws the armbar on sitting back, there are ways to explode out. Like this, you could pendulum the legs, come up to your knees and stack. Put Gunnar's knees to his face to relieve pressure from the elbow, then pull the elbow out. He also did not have his hands gripped together, which is pretty essential to get that. It works best if you have a good grip. You could use the S grip or the padlock grip. Padlock grip being the strongest. Pendulum the legs up. Get your knee to the back of his ass, and while you're stacking him, you're turning your hands, turning and pull the hand out. Sometimes though, the person on top in this spiderweb position has his hand planted, which will not allow you to swing up. In that situation, sometimes there's enough opening in the leg that you can push your head out in between his legs. So I'm using my right elbow and I'm pushing, creating a little bit space, and I get my head out get in between his legs, which is possible to get triangled from there, but at least you're out of the armbar. I'm putting an armbar on Marshall. From here, he's turning his hips and stacking. But instead of just putting the knee behind the ass, he's putting the knee to my chest. And he turns the key. So he's twisting his hands, which gives him time to escape, or gives him space to escape. He turns his hips to create space, and once we're flipped over, he stacks and he puts a knee onto the chest, and he's turning the key. If he has space to turn the key, that is an indication that the forearm can be pulled out. The hitchhiker escape would have been probably the best option for Barberena, since he did not have his hands connected. Hitchhiker escape is used once your hand is already fully extended. You turn into the arm bar. So your arm is being pulled, and you turn onto the other shoulder, and you do sort of a Homer Simpson walk, and that motion turns your arm in the opposite direction. So instead of having your elbow face down where the upward pressure breaks the arm, your elbow will now be facing up where the upward pressure would just bend your elbow as it would normally be bent. And you keep walking around until you're potentially in side mount, or just until you can relieve some pressure from the arm. That is the hitchhiker escape. He's got the arm, and I turn my hitchhiker thumb down as I'm doing the Homer Simpson walk around hitchhiker escape. Bryan Barberena, try that next time. Take my advice. Take my advice from a guy that sat on the couch watching the fight.